Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where we are going to talk about the new moon and solar eclipse that is happening on the 21st of September. My name is Dunya Safwan, and I will guide you through the energies of this moon and through a meditation to help us integrate all the information that this moon and this partial solar eclipse are bringing. Let's take a look at what this moon is about and understand, first of all, where it is happening. This is the second new moon in Virgo. The first one was 4 weeks ago, more or less, on the 23rd of August. And it was happening in the early degrees of Virgo. It was a black moon, which means that this is a phenomenon that only happens 33 years, the last time it happened was 33 years ago. And the black moon is when, in the same season, we have two moons, new moons, in the same sign. So it's pretty uncommon and is worth noticing. So this is, let's say, the echo of that first moon that we had 4 weeks ago. This new moon is also a partial solar eclipse, which will be visible in the southern hemisphere, close to Antarctica and touching a part of New Zealand. That's the path of totality. Not totality, but where it's going to be darker. So it's really in a very, very remote area. I want you to take note, and we'll see a little bit later during this video why. But I wanted to take note that this is not a repetition of the last new moon that we had 4 weeks ago. This is really, we had a window for 4 weeks to create something new, and we'll go through the exact things that we had to integrate during these 4 weeks. And now we are about to enter a new cycle. This moon happens at 29 degrees 05 of Virgo, which is the last degree of the sign, also called the anaretic degree, which is a degree of crisis. It means crisis is derived from a Greek word for growth, which means this is a moment where we face the tightness of what we had in order for us to grow. So this is a moon that signals intensity for that very reason. First of all, this is definitely a time to set a new intention, like in every new moon. And this feels bigger also because it is connected to, it is a solar eclipse, but it's also happening one day before the equinox, the autumn equinox in the northern hemisphere, spring equinox in the southern hemisphere, which makes it even more potent. I encourage you to see where 29 degrees of Virgo falls in your chart and to seek the house where it's falling. And that will give you an idea of where this moon is going to hit harder, or is going to, bring out subjects with more acuteness, let's say. This moon, because it's happening in Virgo, is going to be highlighting our daily habits, our daily routines, our health, how we organize our daily life, and also how our habits, routines, and daily actions serve our purpose. What else? Yeah, I was saying earlier that this moon is the second new moon in Virgo, and something opened up at the end of August, and it's now closing with this new moon in order to give way to a complete new beginning. But before we get into that, I would like us to go through what happened between the last new moon in Virgo and this one. So the new moon of Virgo in Virgo on the 23rd of August was teaching us to bring more consciousness to our daily actions, to keep our eyes on the dream, on what we want to achieve, on our deepest passions. And it was teaching us to be led in our day-to-day actions by those dreams, those passions, right? It was also reminding us one of the key attributes of Virgo, which is to do the work. Virgo is a hard worker, especially when it's serving a higher purpose. So it was really bringing that out and showing us that we need to do the work. Then following that, the next moon cycle was a full moon in Pisces that happened on the 7th of September. And with that came a huge amount of very high frequency, of very subtle light, reminding us to stand as the bridge between heaven and earth, and reminding us that we need to embody and hold that frequency within. And for that, we had 4 pillars embodied by 4 master stars. You can go back to the meditation and to the video, which is on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I encourage you, like if you haven't listened to that, and if you feel you need to go deeper into those 2 moons, you can find them in the playlist called Moon Cycles. So these are the 2, this is where we're coming from, right? Now, this moon, what it's asking us to do, it's asking us to embody all of that fully and to start to operate from a higher frequency, to start to function with the knowledge that that frequency that we received 2 weeks ago, it is already within ourselves, and within ourselves, that our frequency has already been raised if we are willing to see it. And that means that we need to start operating from inside to the outside. Okay, we'll get into that a bit later, but I just wanted to give you a big picture to start off with, and then we'll get into the details. So for sure, this moon is definitely opening a new cycle for anyone who is willing to take a path of evolution. And if you're here, I believe that's probably what you're after. Excuse my voice, I have a sore throat. So what are the main themes for this moon? First of all, this is about focusing on creating the new. This moon is an eclipse, is opposing Saturn very tightly to the degree, I believe, which speaks, Saturn is in Pisces, retrograding until 28th of November. And while it's going back into Pisces, it is still speaking about the dissolution of old structures, but also it is, by being in Pisces and by being conjunct Neptune, which is still at 0 degrees of Aries, but still very close, it is also talking to us about the creation of the new structures from a place where of our dreams. So new structures guided by our deepest dreams, our deepest passions. And this is what Saturn is talking to us about in that position. So the fact that this eclipse and new moon is opposing Saturn and telling us that, it's also a signal for consistency, focus, discipline. Saturn is about long-term goals. And paired with this eclipse, it's really a powerhouse to create what will support this new cycle for you. I would invite you to take a moment, pen and paper, to make yourself comfortable. If you want to light up a candle or, put some nice scents, or, to just create a space where you can be focused. And I invite you to write down or bring into the moment what you really want to do, your biggest dreams, and to describe what they are and what you need to do to achieve them. And from there, to set the actions that you can do on a daily basis to embody that dream. This is typically what this moon is inviting us to do, to really create our dreams and create our goals from a day-to-day action, from a very basic, very small, granular set of actions. The second main theme for this new moon and solar eclipse is the clarity of mind. We have Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, in Libra, at 6 degrees of Libra, if I remember well, and it is conjunct this eclipse. This reinforces the qualities of organization, discrimination, choosing what's right, what's not right, based on my goals, the daily routines. And this energy coming to us from Libra gives us a flavor of the attributes of that sign, which is seeking balance and beauty. So it's not only about serving the higher goal, serving the dream, making it happen on a daily basis, but also within that to infuse balance and beauty. Virgo operates from a sense of service to the divine, the temple that we are, and the service to others as well. And Mercury in Libra reminds us that this needs to be done from a sense of balance and equilibrium. Why? Because that sense of service, when pushed to the max, can become sacrifice. So we become overworked, and Mercury is bringing a sort of temperance in here, saying, okay, we do that, we serve our goal, we serve the divine, but we do it in balance and equilibrium. And it also obviously bringing us the clarity of mind to create those new structures from the dream and to embody them. So really, the confusion that comes from Pisces, that is, the dream, that can be a little bit also tied to the illusion. Mercury allows us to cut through this, to take the dream and be very practical and very analytical, very organized in how we implement it, how we embody it. There is another very important piece of information with this moon, which relates to great winds of change. This is one of the key highlights for this eclipse. There is a grand trine in air involving Pluto in Aquarius in the first degrees, Uranus in the first degrees of Gemini, another sign of air, and Mercury in Libra in an out of sign conjunction with the eclipse that is at the last degree of Virgo, as you know by now. So that creates a big, let's say, connection in the form of a triangle, a grand triangle that unites the three signs of air, plus a bit of Libra, but mainly involving very, very strongly this eclipse and this new moon. Both Pluto and Uranus speak about deep change, about quantum leaps. And here it's fueling everything that I said earlier in terms of change, in terms of new cycle. And so I invite you to see this grand trine as a way to work out how your daily routine needs to be changed. So just to be clear on that, it's not about making minor changes or just shifting this. It's really allowing yourself to create completely new routines, completely new habits, completely new organizations for your day, to bring in new activities, to leave others, to really review from the depth of the depth how your day should be organized, how your life should be organized, what it should include, what you should let go of in order to serve your dreams. So that means, obviously, you need to be very clear about what your dream is. And even if you're not very clear, you need to have an idea, and I'm sure we all have an idea, even if it's not very clear, and to imagine what is it in your daily life that is new and very new that can help you support that, right? So it is really, I would really invite you to make the most of this energy that is very, very available, that is very benevolent, that is very easy to catch with this moon, to bring deep changes to your day-to-day life, and to reconnect with what really moves you, what really makes you tick, what really creates a spark in your eye, what really makes your heart, beat faster. It's really, really important. We have another important aspect, a couple of more, but the next one deals with the balance of polarities that we need to create the new structures with. We have Venus in Virgo and Mars in Libra, both connecting in the sextile, which is a flowy, positive, benevolent aspect. And both are connecting to Neptune at 0 of Aries, which is conjunct Saturn in the last degree, the 28th degree of Pisces. So what it's pointing us to is that these new structures that we are creating, both individually and collectively, points us to a dream where the feminine and masculine are both recognized and in a balanced relationship. It can be at an individual level, it can be the receptive side, your more turned inwards side, and the more active side, which is the more masculine. We know that we are living in a world where the masculine is very present and is shown as the way to go for everyone. So here we are invited to revise that and bring back more balance between our receptive side, our ability to feel, our ability to sense, to hold space, to be still, whereas the masculine aspect is more about action, about going outwardly, about moving. So I really invite you to, when you think about your goals, when you think about this new way to organize your life, to bear that in mind, to think of how you can balance those two aspects. What activities, what time do you need to dedicate to being in a receptive mode, and what time you need to dedicate to your active mode? It includes rest, it can be creative activities, it can be so many things, so many things. And so both are engaged in the dissolution of old patterns, the more masculine patterns that we are living by, and the creation of a more harmonious patterns and structures that will sustain the collective dream in a balanced way. I want to finish on a very, very interesting piece of information. That from time to time, I pull out the Sabian symbols, which are let's say, the concepts that are associated with each degree of the zodiac, and that inform us of what information is the moon bringing when it touches that degree of the zodiac. And for this moon, it goes like this. Totally intent upon completing an immediate task, a man is deaf to any allurement. And I find it amazing because this is speaking about the power of focus, the power of concentration, the power of discipline, which goes back to the direct connection that we have on the 21st, on the day of this solar eclipse, between the eclipse, new moon, and Saturn on the opposite side of the zodiac. And we know that Saturn is the one that has a great power of focus and discipline to bring things into matter. So there's a lot of that, and I really invite you to keep that in mind and to stay focused on your goals. Saturn understands that things happen with time. So this is not the moment to seek immediate results for whatever goal you set yourself to do or whatever new routine you set yourself to bring into your life. Keep that in mind because it's something we are building for the long run. So this is the key. These are the key information for this eclipse. And I want to do a quick recap. So remember, this eclipse needs to be read in the light of the 2 previous moons, and it invites us to live from a higher frequency. It invites us to shed the illusion that we are only matter and to infuse our day with the divine, with the higher frequencies that we received and that are totally embedded in our physical body, and to start living according to the new vibrations. What does that mean? That means that this is time to go within, to live from the inside out rather than the outside in. That means, another way to say it is to integrate the subtle aspect of ourselves into our daily life. Another way to say it would be to understand that the reality that we're creating, we are creating it from within. So the more we elevate our frequency, and there's a million ways to elevate your frequency. It's watching your thoughts, dealing with your emotions in a proper manner, what you eat, the activities you do, the people you go with. I'll give you a few tips in a moment, but understanding that the higher frequency you operate from, the more the reality you are experiencing will match that frequency and will match what your intention, what you are trying to create in your life. So how do I infuse higher frequency or more divinity into my daily life? It can be very simple things like blessing your water before you drink it. It can be taking 5 minutes to breathe consciously in the morning or at any other time of the day, by the way. It can be offering an action, a song, a word to the highest part within you. It can be acts of devotion. It can be creative acts. It can be laughter. It can be helping others. There's many, many, many ways where you can embody and operate from that higher frequency. It's bringing beauty and sacredness into your daily actions. Cooking, as if you're preparing that for your most loved one, or preparing a meal for the divine, for example. You can walk consciously, as in being conscious of every step, feeling your foot on the ground, feeling yourself lifting your leg before putting it on the ground once again. So many ways. These small acts, and this is the great power of Virgo, these small acts repeated daily, these will be weaving the higher frequencies into the fabric of your life and infusing everything you do, every interaction that you have, every action that you set out to do with the divine and with this higher frequency. Right? What else? How to work with this moon and how to use it to change your or to open this new cycle that it's signaling. Well, you can take a moment, as I said earlier, and write down the new goals or the new structures you want to create in your life, and focus on your daily habits. How are you going to nourish your body? How are you going to use your time? How are you going to create routines that support that goal? And because it's a moon of discipline, because of what I just said, the Sabine symbol and the strong presence of Saturn in this moon, I would recommend that you commit to a concrete action that you repeat every day that will support that goal. It doesn't have to be big and it doesn't have to be many. It can be one single thing until it's completely integrated, and maybe you can move on to the next. And each of us will have a different capacity to integrate new routines, new actions. So be kind and gentle with yourself while being very focused and very fair to yourself, in the sense that you're honoring your goal and that you're doing everything to give it space. And that's also a way to feel empowered, that to recognize that you have the possibility to create what you desire. And it starts, and we've seen that in other alignments, that the Virgo Pisces axis is one of the most potent to create uh, to embody the divine. And here we are dealing with Virgo, and it is a great help to install and bring in new habits and to become empowered to create what you want to create. So this is the solar eclipse. Now, I invite you, before we go to the meditation, we're gonna see what the people from the inner earth, what additional message they have for us. Yeah, and last reminder about this moon, this opens a completely new cycle. We have passed a threshold, so we are in another space. And it's really inviting us to operate from the frequency of the divine. If there's one thing to remember, this is what this moon is about. So let's see what the people from inner earth for us today. What other piece of advice or what other information would be useful for us today? Okay, if nothing comes up, I will choose one last time. Usually one card jumps up. Here we go. Oops, we have two. No, we have too many. We have three. We just need one. Oh, okay. I'll choose one this time. I'll just mix it once more. It seems to be wanting to give me more than it always comes up with three. That's interesting. Seriously. Okay. I want to finish my. All right. Okay, I'll have to choose. Let's see. What further information do we need for this one? What piece of advice will help us integrate the energies of this solar eclipse in a better way? Okay, we have one of the great masters that shows up today. Name is Amhaj. We'll see. Okay, and let's see what that says. All right. Amhaj, previously known under the name of El Morya, he is the guardian of the blue ray of truth and regent of one of the centers of the inner earth, called Aurora. Incarnated on earth in key moments, he had major parts to play in the liberation of the consciousness, of the higher consciousness, in particular during the fall of Atlantis, where El Morya established the Mesopotamian civilization. His work consists in liberating the human from the personal will in order to connect to the higher will for the emergence of a unified planetary consciousness. He encourages people to use their divine will rather than the lower will, and thus works towards the liberation of the human from its own mental jail. He helps all the living beings on earth during these moments of great change. The center of Aurora that he's the head of, has the goal to help humanity to enter a new dawn of its incarnated experience. It has as a goal to lead to the transformation of Earth and to unify the center with the surface. The ascension key is become the fertile soil of truth by opening your heart to superior reality. Become the fertile soil of truth by opening your heart to superior realities. Here is the message of El Morya, above and beyond everything that I said earlier. The great blue ray of truth protects you because it is the light that cleans you from ignorance and takes you to the heart of absolute truth. The fears that you live every day ties you to resistance that are little by little disappearing. Your soul heard the call of the great truth, the one that releases its grip on time, the one that incarnates the discernment of the heart, and the one that washes away all the fears. Ignorance only lives in the shadow of the lack of absolute truth. This ray is brought to you at the moment to break the last chains and takes you gently towards the sea, where the sea will be softer and will take you far away, facing the horizon. The truth cannot be learned. The truth cannot be sought. The truth cannot be waited for. When you ask for the liberation from a fear or from a resistance that you are conscious of, you give yourself the necessary opening for the ray of truth to come through. When something doesn't go in the way that you desire, call in the ray of truth. Welcome this ray, give it space. The truth explains everything without ever showing itself. Truth is everywhere in you and around you. The human incarnates the truth when he or she listens to her heart, to her feelings, and expresses freely their feelings of love. The truth can only find its way where it is not expected. It enters in the release, in the let go, in the welcoming, because it dwells in the heart of peace, in the sanctuary of the freedom. When you resist a thought, a duty, a physical duty, or a feeling, walk the path that takes you to the heart of peace. Take the time to cultivate your inner garden, and the truth will come to take you. Do you feel these moments of truth where its imprint sits inside of you like an inner blossoming? Your heart grows, your consciousness becomes alive, and your soul smiles and blossoms even more. Beautiful. Once again, here is the illustration that goes with it. Okay, thank you. And now I invite you to close your eyes, to take a comfortable position. And today I'm going to share some music. And today, for today's alignment and meditation, you could be either sitting down or standing. I think it's the first time that I guide a meditation here, at least where we are standing. So choose what you feel more comfortable with. You can do it sitting down one time and do it again standing up, and just experiment with that, or the other way around. Let me share the music and we will start. So here we are, is the music. Okay. Right. Close your eyes. Whether you're sitting down or standing for this meditation, I want you to bring your awareness to your body. You can massage your body, starting from your feet, and going up, recognizing with each touch the vehicle that holds your spirit, all your energy, the physical anchor of everything that you are. Bring that awareness in your touch. Bring gratitude into this touch. Be very kind, very gentle to yourself. Massage and touch your body part by part, including your face, your head. You can tap or give a gentle massage. Your scalp. And when you're ready, come back to stillness. Hands on your knees if you're sitting, palm facing the sky. Or arms along your body, palms facing forward if you're standing. And take 3 deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose. Hold. And exhale through the mouth. One more time, take a deep breath in. Hold your breath. And exhale. Last time, take a deep breath in. And while you're holding your breath, gather all the tensions, if there are any, all the feelings, all the thoughts that run in your head. And release it all with your exhale. And come back to normal breathing through the nose at the inhale and at the exhale. Take a moment to place your attention on your crown. The lotus of the 1,000 petals. Feel it open up, ready to receive from the top of your head. And imagine, see, or feel a beautiful ray of light coming down from the sky and entering your crown. It enters your crown, into your head, touches the center of your head, and goes out through your forehead, your third eye, and beams outwards, forward from your face, from your forehead. And as it goes out, imagine it looping back to come into your throat. Surrounding it, filling it up, going through, and coming out from the back of your neck and looping, going into the back of your heart, once again surrounding it, filling that space within, and going out from the front. And that ray loops back again, get into your solar plexus. It enters in, fills that space with light, and goes out at the back, and enters in through your sacral, your lower back, fills up your lower belly and that entire space. And from there, goes down directly to your genitals, to your root. Filling it up and making its way downwards vertically towards the earth, and going down, deep down. Follow that ray as it reaches further down, deeper into earth, until it reaches the core of the earth. And become aware of that constant flow, like a ribbon coming in from your crown, into your crown, and weaving its light through every center, nourishing them alternatively. Feel how that perhaps changes your state of being, creates sensations. Notice any change in your body, in your perceptions of your body and what surrounds you. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now you start feeling a push from below your feet, a force coming from the earth, from the core of the earth, pushing upwards towards your feet, getting closer and closer. And it surrounds your feet and enters through your root. And from there, nourishing your root, moving up to your sacral, bathing it with a warm, luminous energy. Imagine that energy coming out from your lower belly forward and looping back to come into your plexus. Feel how your plexus expands within, relaxes. Allow that being, that energy flow to come into your plexus from the front and to get out from the back in a continuous flow, always related to the core of the earth. And as this flow goes behind you, loops back to enter into your heart from your back. Surround your heart. Feel once again that space. Relax and expand. Feel the sense of peace that it's bringing with it. And allow that flow to come out from the center of your chest, to loop back into your throat, surrounding it, expanding it, nourishing it. Feel its effects. Notice what changes happen. And allow that ray to come out from the back of your neck, loop back and enter from the back of your head into the center of your head. And from there, moving up directly into the crown. And coming out from the top of your head, merging with the first ray that we received from the heavens. Take a moment to feel that flow, descending and ascending. Both movements working in harmony, balancing out all your energetical centers, reminding you of the virtues of polarity as a way to create movement, as a way to perceive perspectives of the world in order to unite them within. Feel those polarities being balanced and equilibrated in a perpetual movement, constantly receiving from above, constantly receiving from below, being nourished and being inspired without condition. Notice any effects in your state of being, in your body, in your sensations, in your levels of vitality, in your thoughts, in your feelings. And I would like you to place your attention on your heart. And from there, feel, imagine, or see how your electromagnetic field is generated from there. A torrid shape or an apple shape that surrounds you all entirely. Connect with that field and expand it, strengthen it, visualize it. From the source of that field in your heart, you can grow it. You can expand it. You can fill it with light or colors. Anchor that sensation of your magnetic field and feel how it works in harmony, how it is being nourished by this double movement. You can imagine the descending and ascending movement in specific colors, same or different, Take a moment to explore, to feel, to observe the interweaving of the ray of light entering from above, the divine inspiration, divine masculine, coming into your temple, and the flow that goes up, your earthly aspect of receiving, the divine feminine, embodying and returning the fruits of your experience to the divine. Now understand that I am the embodiment of the divine. As I receive divine inspiration in every breath, I set out to embody it in every action. I serve with diligence and responsibility, understanding that my vibration is what creates my reality. Inhale. I am in constant service of the divine. My will is divine will. I am balance. I am. Gently release the visualization. And come back here and now. Start moving your hands, your shoulders, your head, your feet. Stretch and yawn. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you very much for being here with me today. I wish you a wonderful solar eclipse and a beautiful equinox, which is happening the next day. And I will see you in 2 weeks for the full moon. Bye for now. Ciao.